The Queen of the Night. Who is she? Well, I'm the Christian whistleblower, Jeffrey Daugherty. Welcome to the Gospel Truth channel. And we're here to talk about the Queen of the Night from Ancient History Encyclopedia.com. That will be our source material. Who is the Queen of the Night? I think my conclusions might surprise you, unless, of course, you've been making a practice of being with us, then they probably will not surprise you. I did a prediction show the other day, predictions for the next 12 months using the Cosmic Deck of Initiation. I encourage you to take a look at that show, and we will have the creator of that deck on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Miss Barbara DeLong. She's also a medium, and we're going to be talking about mediumship on Wednesday. I believe I'll have John Hogue and Heidi Vandenberg on this week. If not this week, certainly next week. And we're looking forward to talking with Heidi, as always, taking a look at Marina Abramovic and some other very interesting issues, and talking with John Hogue about some things that you never hear John Hogue talk about. So looking very much forward to that. And of course, I think, Wednesday night, we also have, I forgot about Wayne, didn't I, on Wednesday? I scheduled Barbara on top of the Wayne show. Well, we're going to have to make some adjustments, aren't we? Maybe the midweek show will be earlier midweek or later midweek. Sorry about that, Wayne. I don't know what got into me. So let's take a look at this whole idea of the Queen of the Night. Who is the Queen of the Night? And just for the record, the Queen of the Night is not Heidi Vandenberg, who I see is in the chat room. Welcome to you, Heidi. Look forward to having you on. And if you didn't see her interview with John Hogue, the most recent one, go to channel 27, watch the video, and subscribe while you are there. No, she is not the Queen of the Night. Be nice to Katrina. It's all right, Christine. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Queen of the Night. It could be the Jeff, Barbara, and Wayne show. Jen Fisher, you are absolutely brilliant. Problem solved. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at this idea about the Queen of the Night. Jeff, what in the world are you talking about? Well, as I often do, we're going to go into history. We're going to go into science. We're going to go into actual real stuff. I hope that doesn't bother any of you. I know I'm just a crazy apostate blasphemer, but we do want to go to real stuff like we always do. This is from Ancient History Encyclopedia, and it's talking about the Queen of the Night. It is an article by Joshua J. Mark. And the Queen of the Night, also known as a Burning Relief, is a high-relief terracotta plaque of baked clay. Now, I don't think you care about the measurements of it particularly, but it depicts a naked, winged woman who happens to be flanked by what most believe are owls, and she's standing on the back of two lions. Came out of Mesopotamia, probably Babylon, during the reign of Hammurabi, the famous code giver, the famous law giver, and also the god of from the same period. Now, you can see the problem that most Western religionists are going to have with this right away. First of all, it's a woman, and why are they making statues of women when we know that men rule everything? Number two, she's naked, and we know how bad naked women are. And number three, she's standing on the back of two lions, which is a tremendous statement of power. And we know that women are supposed to be in the kitchen making sandwiches. So you can see right away why Western religion would have difficulty with this particular lady. Not only that, she's a goddess, and we know in the West there's only supposed to be one god, and it's certainly not a damn girl. She wears the headdress of a deity, holds the sacred rod and ring symbols in her hands. She's got wings, but her legs taper to bird talons, which grip the lion's back, which is even more an indication of her strength, because she's able to dig into a male power symbol. Very interesting stuff. Now, there's a debate upon who she is, and that's what we want to talk about tonight. Is she Inanna or Ishtar? Is she Lilith? Or is she Erish Kigal? Now, if you'd like to see this piece, you can go to the British Museum in London. I know many of you are in the UK, and she's in room 56. It's called the Queen of the Night Relief. And if you are in London and you do have a chance to go take a look at the piece, please email me a photo of it to christianwhistleblower@gmail.com. Now, this was discovered in 1936. It was first shown in the Illustrated London News, and it was removed from Iraq sometime in the 1920s, 1930s. They don't actually know when the thing was created, but it's known as the Burney Relief because he was a captain in the English Army during World War I, and he was president of the Antique Dealers Association in London. So long story short, he brought the thing back. And it came to be called the Queen of the Night for interesting reasons because of the black pigment in the plaque's original background and the iconography of the downward pointed wings, the taloned feet, associate the female figure with the underworld. And of course, if it's a woman, if she's naked, if she's a goddess, if she's got power, if she's standing on male symbols, then of course she's of the night. Of course she's dark. Of course she's bad because, hey, men run the show around here and we don't have time for no girly gods or goddesses. And here she is with the owls, with the lions, and in her full glory. So they say she's the queen of the night because it kind of looks night and all of that associated imagery as well. The name is a modern, not an ancient designation. So it's important to know that the originators and the people that started this thing, they did not call her the queen of the night. That's very, very interesting and very, very important that we know. And they talk about the composition of the thing, how it was created. I'm not sure that many of you care about how it was actually created. If you do, it's in this portion of the article. You can certainly go and look at it and read about it. Now, why was it made? How was it made? They're not sure. They're not sure which goddess it represents, but there is similarities in technique between it and the so-called god of Ur to make it very striking. So they are almost convinced from all the evidence that this is in fact a goddess. And it's actually in the same motif as the god presentations of the same time. So we're pretty sure that this is indeed a goddess. Now, a lot of people, or there are people that want to say, oh, it's just sacred prostitution. Of course they would. They're trying to designify. They're trying to take away significance of a queen-like, of a goddess-like figure. So to say it's just a thing that hung on a wall in a sacred brothel to get, again, men more pleasure, I say nay to that. This is clearly a goddess. This is clearly a woman of power. This is clearly somebody large and in charge. So let us turn our attention to just who this queen of the night, so-called, might be. There she is in all her glory, the queen of the night. So people have said maybe she's Inanna, maybe she's Lilith, maybe she's Erish Kigal. Well, if she's Inanna, Dr. Black is the main advocate of this. I'm sorry, Barbara DeLong just sent me an email. Dr. Black is the main proponent of this thought. And who was Inanna? If one accepts Black's findings, it poses a problem with Inanna, since she was not universally regarded as a mother goddess in the way that Nin Hursag was and is. Nin Hursag is the mother of the gods, and was regarded as the great mother goddess. There's also problems with Inanna as queen stemming from the iconography of the piece. Inanna is associated with lions, but not with owls. The headdress and the rod and ring symbols do fit with Inanna. The necklace would fit with Inanna, but not the wings or the talon feet or the dew claw. Scholar Jacobson, arguing for Inanna as the queen, says, well, lions are an attribute of Inanna. The mountains beneath the lions are the reflection of Inanna's capital near the mountaintops. Inanna took the rod and ring with her in her descent, and her wings, bird, talons, and owl show that it is Inanna pictured in her aspect of the owl goddess of harlots. Here we go again with the harlots. And Dr. Calonne says, nope, Inanna was only associated with one lion. The ring symbol, the necklace, could have been worn by any goddess. And he also points out that the Queen of the Night, first published in 1936, read Ishtar, Sumerian goddess of love. So there's a lot of feeling either way on whether it is Inanna. You know, I have just enough training in anthropology, 2 years, associate's degree, to be dangerous. I am forced to agree that this is not Inanna for all the aforementioned reasons, and because of my blink. I say, no, it is not Inanna. It is a more widely recognized, more widely revered goddess type to me. So let's take a look then at Lilith. Now, they say that this is, some say this is Lilith. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, I say that this is Lilith. And the reasons why the scholars say it cannot be Lilith are exactly the reasons why I think it is Lilith. Well, it can't be Lilith because Lilith is a demon, not a goddess. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Lilith is a demon, not a goddess, because Western religion has decided that she's a demon, not a goddess. And keep in mind why Lilith is called a demon. She's called a demon. Why? Because she would not submit herself to Adam. This is key, ladies and gentlemen. Lilith is demonized because she would not submit herself to Adam in the exact same fashion that the Apostle Paul today demands women submit themselves to men. If you read the writings of the Apostle Paul, it's very clear that he says women are to submit themselves to their husbands. Women are to submit themselves to men generally, never allowed to be in leadership positions within the Christian church under any circumstances where they are having authority over men. I'm not making this up. The Apostle Paul said it. It's very, very plain. Women are not supposed to talk in church. They're not supposed to ask questions in church. Plainly put, men are supposed to be on top. Women are supposed to be on bottom. And there's some suggestion in the original Lilith text that might even have application into the realm of human intimacy. So Lilith's problem was that she would not giggle and nod, that she would not smile and make sandwiches. Lilith's problem was that she wanted to be an equal with Adam. Lilith's problem was she recognized that she was equal with Adam and demanded to be treated as such. For that reason, folks, remember, it was the rat bastard. And because we have so many new people, he can no longer be called he that shall not be named, because people need context. The God of the Bible, the Lord, Yahweh, Jehovah, Yaldabaoth. He's the one that cast out Lilith. Why? Because she wouldn't submit and be a slave to the man. She wasn't willing to submit herself as an individual. Lilith causing all kinds of trouble, asking for equality, asking for the equality that she was given by the Elohim to be recognized. That's why she was cast out. Oh, but Lilith is supposed to be a killer of babies. Do you realize that the text says that it was the Lord who said, if Lilith doesn't come back, I'm going to kill 1,000 babies every day she's gone. Lilith isn't the baby killer. Lilith is not the demon. The God who cast her, the God who wanted her to submit herself, give up her divinity, give up her sovereignty, give up her freedom. That's the demon, not Lilith. That's the baby killer, not Lilith. So Lilith truly is a goddess. In fact, Lilith is the person that Sophia incarnated. Why did Sophia incarnate Lilith? Sophia incarnated Lilith because Sophia recognized her mistake in giving birth to the Lord, the rat bastard. I call him the rat bastard because Sophia gave birth to him aside from and without the consent of her male counterpart. So he truly is a bastard. And he tricked us into these mud hut bodies where we've been stuck. And Sophia, the goddess Sophia, having guilt for making this being that has enslaved us, incarnated herself in Lilith. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, not only is Lilith not a demon, Lilith is, through the incarnation of Sophia, the first Christ. That's right. I said it. Lilith is the first Christ, the female Christ. And on August 21st of this year, with the full solar eclipse, what is called the correction of Sophia ended. So Sophia had been incarnated in Lilith all these years because she's trying to keep alive in our DNA and in our thought the reality that we are divine, we are sovereign, we are free. Keep alive in our mind the same spirit that was in Lilith. Look, I'm equal, I'm sovereign, I'm divine, I'm free. I will not submit myself to another being. I will not shut my mouth. I will not be on bottom. I demand the freedom, the divinity, the sovereignty that I was granted by the Elohim that created me. Lilith wasn't wanting to be in charge. She was just wanting to be divine, sovereign, and free, just like she was made to be. And for this, she is demonized by Western religion, Roman Catholicism, Roman Christianity, but she is deified by those of us that understand the typology of Sophia inhabiting Lilith, by those of us that understand the first Christ. So when we look at this, we can see that she is divine. She is sovereign. She is free. She is soaring on her own. She's recognizing her own divinity. She's walking loud and proud, wall to wall, treetop tall, 10 feet tall, and bulletproof, large and in charge, locked and loaded. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how every single one of you ladies should walk. That's how every single one of you ladies should live. And that's how every single one of you men should live. We should look to Lilith as a goddess. We should look to Lilith as a goddess. We should look to Lilith as the first Christ. We owe her a great debt of gratitude. And now, since the August 21st full solar eclipse, Sophia has risen. What does that mean to you? What does that mean to me? It means that now, for the first time since we have been alive as a species, we have the greatest access to both the female sacred feminine spirituality and the male sacred spirituality. Especially for the next 7 years, we've got a time where we are experiencing and can tap into, like never before, the fullness of the divine feminine, the fullness of the divine masculine, the fullness of Elohim power is available to us right now as never before. And part of that we owe to Lilith, part of that we owe to Sophia. Lilith was also and is to this day associated with owls. Lilith is from the Mesopotamian school of thought. She is considered dangerous to men. I mean, think about this. The Lilitu, or those of Lilith, demons who are especially dangerous to men. Can't you see the typology, how perfect it is? This woman who dared to defy the Lord, this woman who dares to defy the Apostle Paul, this woman who dares to defy dominant male spirituality, dominant male sexuality, dominant male culture. Well, of course, she's known as a demon that's especially dangerous to men. Of course, she's known. Now, allow me, if you will, to buttress my opinion with the opinion of Raphael Patai. Relates that in the Sumerian poem Gilgamesh and the Hulupu tree, a she-demon, again, remember, when you see the men calling her a she-demon, know that she's a she-divinity. She built her house in the Hulupu tree on the banks of the Euphrates before being defeated by Gilgamesh. And then it shows that there was a Babylonian terracotta relief, roughly contemporary with the above poem, shows that Lilith was believed to be how Lilith was supposed to be to the human eye. Slender, well-shaped, beautiful, nude, wings, owl feet, standing on two reclining lions flanked by owls, wearing on her head a cap embellished by several pairs of horns, holding a ring and rod combination. This was no lonely she-demon, but a goddess who tames beasts and rules by night. Of course, she rules by night because she's ruling over men who are supposed to be in charge of light. Folks, there was a relief, a Babylonian era terracotta relief. This is a Babylonian era terracotta relief. There was a Babylonian era terracotta relief commemorating the she-demon named Lilith, the one dangerous to men. And we know why she's dangerous to men. That shows a slender, well-shaped, beautiful, nude, winged woman with owl feet standing on lions, flanked by owls, wearing a cap of divinity, holding a ring and a rod. I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, this pretty much looks like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lilith. There's no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of the night is Lilith, but she's only the queen of the night because of the darkness in the hearts of those that have been seduced by the darkness of Western religion. Who is the queen of the night? Well, really, the queen of the night was our first bringer of light. Who is the queen of the night? Thank you, Marshall. The queen of the night is our first bringer of light. Who is the queen of the night? The queen of the night is, without a doubt, based on my anthropological training, my extensive 2-year associate degree in anthropology, and based on my 36 years and over 100,000 hours of study within the biblical and parabiblical scriptures, it is Lilith. And the message is clear, folks. The dominant religious paradigm doesn't want you listening to Lilith. They want you to shut up, giggle, nod, and do what they say. But Lilith, the first Christ, incarnated by Sophia. Sophia is actually the first Christ, but tomato, right? The message of Lilith, the message of Sophia is, hey, folks, Sophia's risen. You're trapped in this body, but guess what? Now you have all the power you need and more. Power to spare, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize your own divinity, recognize your own sovereignty, recognize your own freedom, recognize the Mother God, recognize the Father God, recognize that you are Mama God, Daddy God, Baby God. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Jeffrey Darty says that he is a baby God, and Jeffrey Darty says that you are too. That's who the queen of the night is. The queen of the night is really our original guiding light back to the fullness of the realization that we are children of the gods, and as such, we're supposed to grow up just like mom and just like dad. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So let's rock back into the chat room. If you have to leave, I understand. Not everybody wants to listen to me, listen to you, but since you give me the honor of listening to me, I do run through the chat room and address your comments. Of course, as these chats begin to grow and grow and our subscribers begin to grow and grow. And by the way, while you're here, why don't you subscribe? While you're here, why don't you like? While you're here, why don't you share? If you're new, I salute you for coming here and seeking truth. I appreciate you being here. I hope you'll come back. If you are a regular listener and watcher, thank you so much. I appreciate you really more than you know. And if you're able, I would ask you to consider being supporters of this program, sponsors of this program. You can use the handy dandy little $ under the chat box that allows you to give an instant shout out support, or you can go to my website, which I am putting in here, www.jeffreydarty.com, and give through PayPal. And you don't even have to have a PayPal account to do it. She's holding their symbols of divinity, Lee. I'm wondering if she's not holding, maybe, did she snatch the Hulu before she ran out? I don't know. Is that Ishtar? I don't know. Is that Ishtar? And who is Ishtar? Is not Ishtar emblematic of all female deity? I don't know. Good questions. There's a lawn ornament, says Tiffany, with her high-minded commentary. Great, Tiffany. Love you. Glad you're here. She is naked, and we all know how bad nakedness is. Female lions rule the jungle. Don't tell the men that. Don't tell the men lions that. Lilith ain't making no sandwiches. Peanut butter or otherwise. I agree with you, Christine Lester. Chaw says Jezebel, maybe tongue-in-cheek, but of course, that's the Jezebel architecture again. Jezebel's a bad person. Why is Jezebel bad? Because she wanted to allow people to worship in the groves. Who was it? I'll wait for it. Wait for it. It was Ishtar, Asherah. Jezebel is demonized because she wanted to allow people to do what? Worship and recognize the sacred feminine. Are you beginning to see a theme here, ladies and gentlemen? Are you beginning to see a theme here, ladies and gentlemen? Well, Jeff, are you saying that there's no place for male spirituality? Of course not. But I am saying this. Male spirituality has been dominant for 2,000 years, and it's a train wreck. Male spirituality has been dominant for 2,000 years, and we're in the ditch. It's time to start switching off who's driving the train. It's time for balance between male and female sacred reality. Ishtar is not going to make any sandwiches. I'll listen to Jen. I've been with two men and they made my sandwiches. Well, look at you, Jen. Crack that whip, as Tiffany said. Christine has Jeff on TV and on the phone right now. That's either twice as good or twice as irritating, depending upon your point of view, I guess, huh? That lady was super upset at you, man. Oh, well, people get upset at Lee from time to time. In fact, I think I've probably been upset with Lee from time to time, but that's okay. It's all right to be upset with each other. Love, beauty, sex, and battle. That's what I'm talking about. That's a real woman right there. Love, beauty, sex, and able to throw down when she needs to. That's really a great summation of feminine, sacred, females. I was going to say sensuality, but femininity, spirituality, divinity. She is gorgeous. She is large and in charge. I like Inanna. We do ruffle feathers around here, and that's good because that's what we're here for. Ishtar is Easter, but don't say that too loud because you'll upset some of our Christian indoctrinated folks. I love Lilith. I love Lilith as well. Gravity Storm's granddaughter, Deborah changed her name. Her granddaughter's name is Lilith. She's a demon because she has a vajayjay. Yeah, that's all that's required. Athena, Lilith, Sophia, interchangeable. Yes, absolutely, Lee. I love how Lee asks questions that he already knows the answer to. Yes, obviously, Athena, Lilith, Sophia, Asherah, Ishtar, almost interchangeable representations of female sacred sexuality. Some people think Lee is a bot. He's not actually a bot. I can confirm that from personal experience. You go, Lilith. She's demonized because she told Adam to make his own damn sandwich. Exactly, Christine. Lilith is supposedly a baby stealer. Yes. Men afraid of the power of women. Those aren't real men. Those are boys, Jen. Real men not only are not afraid of powerful women, but real men look to facilitate powerful women. But you got to be a powerful man to have a powerful woman in your life. So and most men are just little baby boys. So there you go. Even the rat bastard called her Lilith. Exactly. Lilith knew the name of the ineffable, which is how she escaped. Now that's interesting, CS. I'd like to, if you have some data on that, I would love to see it. Is she a demigod? Yeah, I'd say she's probably a demigod. Was Lilith the serpent to warn Eve of what she didn't know? Good thought. I see where you're going there, but I would have to say textually, nay. Sarah Starter says she's been a demon many times. Certainly Lilith is a shapeshifter because she's Elohim. All Elohim have shape-shifting potential. You, Cha Edwin, are a shapeshifter. You've just forgotten how to do it. Even the Christ here on earth was a shapeshifter. That's right, I said it. The Christ was a shapeshifter, and you, yourself, everyone listening to the sound of my voice, is a shapeshifter. You've just forgotten how to do it. Tiffany says, get in touch with your inner Lilith. And that's not just for you ladies. That's for all of us. We all need to get in touch with our inner Lilith. I wonder why Lilith didn't give him a spanking. Why would she reward him, Jen? That's my question. He got upset, speculative to mystical. That's all right. I don't mind being speculative. I don't mind being mystical, and I don't mind being question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark either. In fact, I'll use anything and everything short of gross stupidity to get you to start thinking on your own. And if you don't like that, well, that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway because it's much harder to convince someone they've been fooled than it is to fool them. It's easy to fool someone. Very hard to convince them they've been fooled. Doesn't mean I'm not going to stop trying, and I will use all of the tools at my disposal to get you to start thinking on your own. If the day you have an independent thought and step outside that matrix is boom. And I'll tell you folks, I get letters and emails every day, every single day. I hated you. And then all of a sudden, a light went off and I realized, holy crap, this information's right. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. Women have been demonized by Western religion. She has a navel strange on the picture. If women are not supposed to speak in church, then why do they break the rules with women ministers laugh out loud? Good question behind the veil. The Bible Truth Army just shows they're frauds. Yes, it does. Lilith was the first dissident. Absolutely. She's got wings. She's a goddess. She can rise up on high just like you can, ladies and gentlemen. The wings aren't literal. The wings show that she can shapeshift, teleport, go where she wants to go, do what she wants to do. And oh, by the way, you can too. You've just forgotten how. But guess what? We're fixing to start showing you, reminding you how to do it. How do you like that? Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Exciting times. The vital force of the Elohim is within us all, says James Scott. You got it, bro. I have many qualities. Guess that's why I'm divorced and still single. One day, Jimmy Swaggart looked at me, and this is completely without context, but it speaks to your statement. One day, Jimmy Swaggart looked at me and he said, Jeff, he actually said Jeffrey. He said, Jeffrey, it's much better to be single wishing you were married than married wishing you were single. Words of wisdom. Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. Michelle, dangerous to men. If you men know who Michelle Borg is, you ought to ask her out. She's probably got some good stuff going on. Bohemian Grove, trapped her. Yep, Shaina, you're on to something. Lilith makes me weak to my knees. I'm her biatch, says Cha Edwin. I think Cha Edwin is trolling, but that's okay. Owl feet hurts when you get kicked in the butt by her. Absolutely, but it is a great inspiration, isn't it? Veltman doesn't think the Owl of Moloch and the Owl of Wisdom are the same owls. But is not the Owl of the Occult true wisdom? Is not the Owl of the Dark really the Owl of hidden knowledge? I don't know. I'm not religious either. Lilith demanded respect. So does Ronnie or Roni B, who finally found a great Earth partner who respects her strength. Excellent. Michelle Colossi, thank you so much for that support. I really appreciate it. Terry says that Lilith had nice hair. Gilgamesh was a hairy wild man himself. Lalita in India is known to be a demon-killing goddess. Of course, she probably stepped up too. Gilgamesh and the Holy Grail, fascinating story of King Arthur, absolutely. Lee Veltman. Divine Feminine has been trapped within black magic, or they want us to believe it has. At anyways, Jeff, please show your face on the big screen. We'd rather see you than Lilith. Well, thank you very much. She probably could have bit his head off. Lilith considered her children all animals, creeping things, and those that I don't know about that, but that's interesting. Lilith is sort of like Wonder Woman. No, it's interesting that you say that. Many people, I saw the Wonder Woman movie. Rex Bear told me to watch it. I wouldn't have watched it probably. Probably too much Linda Carter for me to think it would have been a good movie, but I watched Wonder Woman, and let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the red box, spend the $1.50, watch Wonder Woman, and really watch it. Don't let it be one of those movies that you put in and you go off and you do other stuff, or you're making out or whatever. Postpone your makeout session. Watch Wonder Woman. And if you watch Wonder Woman, you will learn some pretty profound spiritual lessons. Jeff, are you telling me that I can watch a Hollywood movie and learn some spiritually profound lessons? Yes, I am. Well, Jeff, why would Hollywood tell us this? Well, you got to remember this. Regardless of who Hollywood's run by, regardless of who Hollywood's funded by, and regardless of the fact that Hollywood is pretty much a propaganda organization, there's still creative people within Hollywood. And creative people, even if they're not religious or spiritual people, are tuned into the ether. And when there's ideas in the ether, they pull them in and think, oh, this would make a great movie, not realizing that it's also spiritual truth, spiritual reality, spiritual revelation. Supernatural TV show. Yes, it's campy. Yes, it's silly. And I'm totally team Sam, by the way. They drop some bombs on you every now and then, some spiritual stuff. American Gods TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm reading the book too. You got to watch that. It's full of spiritual reality. It's what's going on right now. Wonder Woman. Bam. I watched The Mummy last night. Nuggets of truth and reality within these movies, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if they got to tell us what they're going to do before they do it. I don't know if they got to tell us that they know it before they actually take advantage of it. I don't know if they've got to give us fair warning. I don't know if it is fair play. But all I know, or I think more likely creative people are pulling ideas out of the ether that are there. But watch Wonder Woman, especially in light of this that we've talked about today. Listen to the Lizard King. You know what? I would listen to a lizard king. I would listen to a lizard king. And then I would take what he said, weigh it, and I would take the good and I would throw out the bad. I would eat the meat. I would spit out the bones. I'll listen to a lizard king. I might learn something. Because a lot of times a lizard king might tell you something without wanting to tell you something. You can pick up, why do you think George Washington and many people before him said, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? You can learn a lot from your enemies, ladies and gentlemen. Lilith said, I ain't your bitch. Yes, she did indeed. Yes, she did indeed. I see the Bible Truth Army. Did somebody hijack the Gospel Truth Army? That's okay. Imitation is the highest form of flattery. Christine's dad called her his little angel. Sorry, I'm rambling on and on, but there's still a lot of you here, and I'm having a good time. Is Lilith Kali? If Heidi Vandenberg's still here, I'd welcome her to comment on that. But yes, I would say it's the same actual human, divine, sacred, feminine spirituality. All right. Does red make you look, act, feel younger? Probably so. This is from the JW Marriott in Phoenix when I was working for Marriott. It's nice. Katrina's an inactive Mormon. I would say, thank goodness that you're an inactive Mormon. Katrina, I have to ask, if you are a temple Mormon, did you ever see any reptilian type beings during your temple stuff? Those are onks. Can you imagine if I shared with you, minister brother, he would so call you the Antichrist, laugh out loud. Oh, can you imagine if I shared you with my minister brother? Absolutely. Oh yeah, I get called the Antichrist 3 times before I've had my coffee, and I'm telling you the truth. Looks like an Alpha and Omega symbol. That's very good. Beginning and end. She's the first Christ. Boop. There's a second Christ coming. Bam. Great stuff. Great stuff. Isis, similar to Lilith, the goddess, not the crazy terrorists. I like confident women, not entitled women. Well, guess what? I like confident men, not entitled men as well. I haven't got my rods. I've got 16 pairs of rods being mailed out tomorrow. That'll leave me only 3 behind, so everyone will have their rods by this weekend. Get them while they're hot. Rods, hurry, hurry, step right up. Hillary says she loves the show, and she sent something special my way. Hillary, now I'm wondering what it is. And thank you very much. Are my hand emails screwed up, Jeff? No, Jeff is just very, very busy. And I'll be frank, I got a lot of paid hands I got to do before I can do the free hands, but I will do the free hands. And I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying what the reality is. What's the owl significance? That's for another show. Google that up. If Lee's a bot, I'm done. Lee's not a bot. Lilith said I'm not your bitch. This Feldman stuff is keeping me busy. See you, Lee. Adam said, no, Lilith said, I'm your Huckleberry. She said, I ain't taking no crap from you. I do like that mug. Thank you very much. How do you shape shift? Well, we're going to do a study and a series on that. That's the way it goes. Stay tuned. I wonder if Mary Magdalene was an incarnation of Lilith. Mary Magdalene was a strong woman. I would say no to that. I've had a regression. One of her lives, she was Lady Godiva, says Christine. Very interesting. How do we get in touch with parts of ourselves we don't remember? I do that on a daily basis. I call it LIFETRACK analysis and repair. I start by reading your palm so I can get a baseline. Contact me through this channel or christianwhistleblower@gmail.com. I do it on a donation basis. Pardon me. What's her connection to the Elohim? Oh, that is her connection to the Elohim. And I'm shifting my shape. Don't let anyone tell you you're out of shape. Round is a shape, but if that's not the shape you want to be in. Jay Campbell. has a great program that's working for me. It's called the, well, it's a man thing, so I don't, and I'm sure it would still work for ladies. Jeff, 3 dates. Thank you. Tiffany, she can fly. She is fly. EFT is awesome. Yes, it is. Elohim, how do you shape shift? I don't understand. I'm going to teach you if you want to be a part of it. Love, love, love tonight. You turned my light switch about 6 weeks ago. Thanks. Angel Moon, 4217. That's what I'm here for. Salute right back to you. Owls can see in the night. Owls can see through the dark. Owls can see through the crap. There you go. Take these broken wings. Somebody's singing. They hijacked the owl. I agree. Proud beauty. Lilith did have babies. We're all Lilith's babies. Anyone close to Louisiana? Love Louisiana. Thank you. I'm always informative and intuitive. I appreciate that. God eats us and we eat him. I ain't eating no God, and I ain't letting him eat me anymore either. We should ask the rods if anyone here, if we are directly tied to Lilith. Now, we could all do that. Wonder Woman was good. Wonder Woman is from ancient myth. X-Men are good. Elohim told Lilith that she didn't go back to be with Adam. 100 of her children would die every day. I think it literally says, I've read the text, that 100 children would die every day. I don't think they were her children necessarily. But if Lilith was, in fact, the first Christ, then we're all Lilith's children. And if the rat bastard's killing 100 of us every day, that's a light day for the rat bastard. G.E. Rocky. I'm not sure what that means, but it reminds me of Rocky Stucci. I always said these movies do tell what's happening. American Gods blew me away. American Gods will blow you away. Great, great stuff. I'm sorry, it keeps jumping on me. American Gods blew me away. Read the book. You ate my nuggets of truth. Also like The Dark Tower, didn't see that one. Thoughts in one's head are not always our thoughts. I've learned to know the difference. Here's a real key for you, Christine. Thoughts are way more likely to be divine than words. If you hear something in your head, it's not from God. I know some people don't like that, but if you hear something in your head, it's not from God. Why? Because the divine do not use audible language. I feel like Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys. The Elohim do not use audible language. They don't. The Elohim speak in spiritual intuition, spiritual inspiration. So if you're hearing something in your head, it ain't God, it's something else instead. So there you go. Do reptiles have small brains? Well, Tyrannosaurus didn't have a very small brain. I'm just saying. Your buffering's leaving me with some strange expressions. Well, it's not just your buffering, that's for sure. GTA, Gospel Truth Army. GTA, 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 GTA. Oh, look at that. I love it. Jen says, Jeff, my rods did not come today, so your rods were correct. She asked me, will my rods come Monday? And they said, no, they didn't. So bam, the rods are still undefeated. They should come tomorrow because they were mailed on Wednesday or Thursday. Who is Lilith? Go back to the beginning. Kali's probably older than Lilith. Lilith is a warrior goddess. My muse or guardian source for all the above. I trust Jeff's blink. Thank you very much. Rods are jonesing. He really does look younger. Oh, thanks. My rods and pendulums were going crazy today. And yes, I am going to start making pendulums. I cannot mail rods to Europe, unfortunately, but you can get rods over there. I'm going to put the link in the comment section. Check out Davey's Halloween YouTube talking about a werewolf. It is pretty cool. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Not tonight, tomorrow. Your mind will be blown reading my palm. Okay, I've heard that before. Bring it on. Are you open to a metal bending tool? Oh, I have What do I use? Vice grip. So yeah, I'd be open to a metal bending tool. Absolutely. I'm always willing to up my game. Okay, we're getting right down to the end here. Charles Manson shape-shifted. That's interesting. Don't know if he did or not, but that's interesting. What are you thinking about, Corey? How come most Gnostic Gospels are condemned by believers when they mostly quote the Christ? You just answered your own question, Justin. Most Gnostic Gospels are condemned by Christians because they mostly quote the Christ. Jeff's commentary. Is Lilith here on earth now? Is Lilith here on earth now? I don't know. I don't know. Saw an ugly blue goose at Goodwill. Oh, that's hilarious. 12 monkeys, yeah. The rods say we are. Impressions from an Elohim. The answers to questions come through my higher power. Jeff, can you get a sweatshirt or hoodie? What do you mean? Do I have a vice? I don't know if I have a vice anymore. I don't know if I have a vice anymore. I need to get one, don't I? All right, I'll break out the rods. Why not? Let's do some rod questions, ladies and gentlemen. Bam. It's rod time. Who has a question for the rods? Oh, okay, yeah, I can do that. I can do some winter wear. Oh, is Lilith here now? Ron Wyatt was a fraud. Is Lilith here now? No. That's a better question. Is Lilith on the earth today? No. Is Lilith in the house? No. Oh, there you go. Is Lilith Kali? No. What? He was a fraud because he lied all the time and made stuff up. He didn't find no blood of Jesus because Jesus was never crucified. The guy was a shuckster, a huckster, a good one, but a huckster. Is Lilith Kali? See, there's more to it. It's possible. Is it Lilith who's depicted in that relief we were looking at? Yes, I like that. Is Lilith the first Christ? Oh, look at that. Yes. Will Lilith fight the Lord? Yes. You guys are thinking too much in biblical Jesuit eschatology. Elijah ain't coming back. The Christ said Elijah already came back in John the Baptist. Will Nate be able to get thin and healthy? Yes. Is Lilith connected to Sophia? Yes. Is Kali still around? Yes. Is Lilith controlling the AI? No. Is Lilith pro-human? Absolutely. Oh, is the Sophia AI Lilith? No, not at all. I don't like to give investment or sports advice because I don't want anybody blaming me if their bets don't work. I hope this is a no, Saban. Is Lilith a vampire? No. Am I meant to be a spiritual healer? Tiffany, look at your hand. Look at your palm. Just under your pinky on your right hand, do you have that what looks like kind of like a tic-tac-toe symbol or some horizontal lines crossed by vertical lines? Will Monica pass her exam this week? You must have studied. Yes, you will. Are some Hollywood actors authentically reaching out against their masters? Yes, they will. Does Lilith shave her legs? Thank goodness. No, Lilith would be Sophia's daughter, if anything. Of course, Lilith has offspring on Earth right now. Should Nancy study Vedic astrology? Absolutely. I have a double lifeline, Jeff. That's very interesting, CS. I'm going to travel the world. Is Cha going to travel the world soon? Relatively soon. If you have the tic-tac-toe, then you're a healer. That's called it's called the medical stigmata. Will my roommates find a job, says Jen. Probably not. They don't need to find a job because you keep taking care of them. That's just that's just something I dropped in. Ron Wyatt was a huckster. Justin, please don't pimp Ron Wyatt anymore in the chat. You've made your point. You believe him. I've made my point. I think he's a scam artist. So let's move on. Good. It's got to be diagonal and vertical. They got to be like a tic-tac-toe, like cross, to be the true medical stigmata. Where do I get directions for a palm reading? Send me your palms, front, back, christianwhistleblower@gmail.com. Then you got that. That's the medical stigmata, Deborah. Will Nancy leave her job in the next 6 months? Might be more than 6 months. Wayne Steiger would like this show. He would. You're welcome. Will I find an AI lover soon? Yeah, get out of here. Get that con out of my face. Do I have it? Do you? Yes, I do. Does Lilith want us to call upon her? She better not. Does Lilith want us to call upon her? No. Yep, you're a healer, Gravity Storm, Deborah. Is it pointless to study the human body since it's a meat bag? Wendy Howell. I don't know if I recognize your name. Welcome. Is it pointless to study the human body? No, not at all. Has our reality been hijacked? Mike Galante, nice to see you. Has our reality been hijacked? No. That's a very broad question, though. I have the tic-tac-toe under my right pinky, not my left. Are you right or left-handed, Desiree? Are you right or left-handed? If you're right-handed, tell me, Desiree, are you right or left-handed? Well, what do you mean I didn't say Jim Carrey's name? Is Jim Carrey legit with his spiritual stuff? Yes. Are we all reincarnated? Yes. Will Donald Trump be impeached? It's a possibility. Will Donald Trump be impeached? Says no, it's a possibility, but just because you get impeached doesn't mean you get removed from office. Impeachment is like a trial. Andrew Jackson was impeached, but he defeated it. Oh my God, I'm left-handed. So you're left-handed, which means you were not a healer, but now it's in your right hand, which means you have become a healer. Or if I forgot it and got it wrong, then you are a healer and you're not using it right now. If it's in your dominant hand, that means you were born a healer. If it's not in your dominant hand and it's in your non-dominant hand, it means you've become a healer over. Okay, me, right and left. Well, I got in both. If my left hand showed that I've got this medical stigmata in my left hand, I don't know if you can actually see it. Yeah, you can't really see it, but I've got the medical stigmata in my left hand. If it were not in my right hand, but it is, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it right here? You can see the cross, boom, boom. If it were here on my right hand, but it were not on my left hand, that would mean I wasn't born a healer, but I became a healer. But you can see it's on both hands. There, that should give you enough. Do I color my hair? No. And what was the question? Is the Mandela effect real? Yes, the Mandela effect's real. Real is a wide range of a question, but I did a show on Coast to Coast on the Mandela effect. So I wrote a book on the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect, the Prophet Daniel and Antichrist. You can get it for $1.99 for the ebook, and I think there's a paperback on that one too. No, I won't show my hand again. Any more questions for the rods? Any more questions for the rods? Going once. Is Mike Galante from another reality? Whoa, it's going real quick on you. Is Mike Galante from another reality? No. So depending upon whether that's your dominant or non-dominant hand, tic-tac-toe. I got tiny tic-tac-toes right under my pinky and a large tic-tac-toe. Well, we're talking about healing, so that we're talking about the one under your pinky. Was my awakening from God? Asked Wendy Howe. Was my awakening from God? Yes. Lilith had the first case of divorce. I'm here to the end. Will they reincarnate again? No. We are going to do a conference. Trying to decide exactly when it will be. Can we switch realities? Yes. Is the Mandela effect dangerous? Yes, it can be. If you don't know what's coming on. That's a medical stigmata, Marcus Hall. If it's under your pinky. Even Lilith's divorce wasn't free. That's funny. Will I go Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs? After leaving this plane of existence, can we create life as well as an entire universe? Yeah, but there's a lot more to it than that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a day on that for right now. I will be back again at least one more time tonight for some more good stuff. Until then, unindoctrinate yourself, guide your own spirit, master your own ascension, be your own guru. Ask yourself, has the world gone crazy or have you? And most of all, ladies and gentlemen, stay fearless, my friends. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower, saluting you for being here and seeking after truth.